thank you guys for joining. See you guys in the chat. All these people, Itichan, Pat, Fazavi, we got Manny, we got Toksan, Itoshima folks. Welcome to the people on YouTube. This is my tea, of course, from Shimane Prefecture, Bancha. And this cup, if you're curious, is Bizen Yaki, Bizen pottery, 1,000-year-old form of pottery from Japan. The soil is made from rice field soil, or tambo de dekitemasu. Alright, I want to get into it right away. So, again, for the people that are just joining, 25 minutes of writing, 5 minutes of rest. And during those segments, during the rest segment, I will be speaking to you guys. But if you have anything like you want to get done, deep work, then feel free to join me. I want to make sure this thing is good. For the Japanese people, 小説、このライブで小説書きますので、25分、集中します。あと5分、休みします。休憩取ります。5分の間、こうやってカメラ向かって話しますので、よろしくお願いします。Alright! And I didn't realize on YouTube that because the webcam is attached to my computer, that the sound flows out of that. I probably can turn that off, but I'm not sure how. Actually, yeah, I can turn it off. Alright. Done. And, yeah, that's about it. Alright, I got my thing here. And it works. And we're in. We're going to jump in right now. So thank you guys. I don't want you to see everything on the computer because the words are unpolished indeed. All right, we're jumping in. I'm live on YouTube is working, and I'm gonna have my music playing, and I might introduce the music afterwards, but we're gone. Into the hole we go. first writing session in the bag. As always, we're gonna mark it here. Mark it here. Mark it here. Yeah. Woo! Yeah. Nice fresh. We got some people that jumped in while I was writing. Peach Child Momo Atata Primai Pate Kyo Takara. And I want to make sure everything's good on YouTube. We got someone in the chat, if I can. Someone's on a roll. Thanks for watching, Ari-san. Ari. Yeah, it's actually I don't have to write in the chat, do I? But yeah, it is. It's. I'm much better at writing new stuff than I am editing. So if I'm writing something new, it pours out. But the editing part is really hard for me. So we all have our strengths and weaknesses. And I just remembered I need to hook up my mic for my Instagram. So 1 second. 1 second. All right. All right, found it. This little buddy. Gotta hook it up to my phone because apparently last time on Instagram somebody said the sound went off about an hour in, so I want to make sure it doesn't do that this time around. Wonder what happens if I hook it up midway through. Does it work? And also for the people watching and coming through midway through, I want to go live on TikTok, but I need 1,000 followers and I'm at 108 right now. And so I'm gonna say thank you, Ari. Writing stuff is easy, but editing is super tough. And then I'm gonna post my TikTok. Follow me on TikTok so I can go live there. And go live. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to go live on multiple channels at once. Right now we're on YouTube and Instagram. But I want to share more of what I offer. As I said before, Yokai Shadow, this is what I'm writing, the sequel to this fantasy romance. And this book, if you don't know, was funded, made possible by the folks at Kickstarter. I had a few strangers from the internet jump in and join this. About 30 people that I've never met in my life, not from my newsletter, say, yes, we want this story. They read the brief and said, yes, we want this story. So that book was made possible by Kickstarter folks, and I thank you if you're one of them watching right now. I just heard some, I think there's some construction going on from behind, but yeah, we are probably at maybe another couple minutes for the break. And yeah, I'll take another sip of tea as always. I'm wondering if this Instagram angle works. If you can actually see me. You can see a little bit of the screen, but such a weird angle right here though. Yeah. So for the people that are jumping in or watching the replay, if you have any other ideas of what type of live shows you want to see, don't hesitate to let me know. Drop it in the comments on the replay, or if you're coming in midway. I should post it on Instagram too. For the people that are writing live. For hour and a half. Follow me on TikTok. So I can go live there too. So I can Yeah, I can hear that. There is some construction going on behind me. So yeah, my area is very popular. It's Fukuoka, Itoshima, Fukuoka. And a lot of people are moving from big cities like Osaka, Tokyo. They're coming to Itoshima because it's a perfect balance of nature and city. And that's the clock to get back to work. So I'm going to post this on Instagram real quick. But as I was saying, a lot of people are moving here right now. And there's a lot of construction going on. So I told you I know how to pick my places. I know how to pick my places, my people. Yeah, follow me on TikTok so I can bring you more books and art from Japan. Again, if you're watching, if you're coming in, we're doing live writing on YouTube and Instagram. This is how we mark the progress. 2 more sessions. Each session is 25 minutes. 5 minutes of rest in between. What does that mean? That means that there's another hour that I'm going to be doing this. So let me just write this thing on Instagram real quick. Wow, yeah, that construction is pretty loud though, no? Let me know if you can hear the construction in the background. The builders in the background. Furniture and books. Alright, pin the comment on Instagram so people that are coming in know what is going on. And yeah, we're gonna get back into it. I'm gonna pour a little bit more tea here. Actually, I should show you guys. I wanna make sure I don't spill all over my keyboard. I'm not left-handed, I'm right-handed. Folks, as most of the world. Yeah, so again, this is bancha tea. It's not a green tea, but it is yeah, pretty calm, not a lot of bitterness. Made in Shimane Prefecture, which is up from Fukuoka. I'm gonna pour more hot water in this. Okay, so 1 second, looks like there was a doorbell ring. You probably heard that, so. So guys coming to check the fire alarm here, and that's what we're doing. I forgot they sent a mail, so this is perfect timing here. Alright, so I didn't have my mic attached for Instagram, but there was a letter that came in and said, we gotta check your fire alarm that put it back, and I just forgot, and here he is. So this guy just came in, checked the fire alarm. We're gonna get to it. 1 second. All right. So yes, thank you for waiting. That was a quick little diversion. As I said, again, for the people that are just joining, fire guy came to check the fire alarms, make sure everything is working. And okay, before we get back to writing, quick little story. When I first moved in here, when I first moved to this apartment, there was, let me see if I can actually get this angle right. When I first moved to this apartment, there was, what was it? Oh, okay. Somebody in a neighboring apartment pulled the fire alarm, or something happened. It was not my apartment complex. But, and you know, I work at home, and so most people are at work. I thought it was our apartment complex. And so I go outside and I can like see that I'm looking at the box where the fire alarm is outside of the apartment, but like right outside my door. And there was a red light on it that was it was flashing. And the sound from the neighboring apartment was so loud that I assumed it wasn't that, because there was a light. And so I'm like, oh, all right, so I just got to turn it off or whatever. And so there's a button on it, and I pressed the button, and then my apartment complex started making the same, and it's piercing loud. My apartment complex started making the same sound. I'm like, oh shit. And so basically the fire department came with the fire truck and everything, getting ready to blow out a fire, because apparently that's the button you press when there's a fire and you're trying to get out of the house or something like this. So like before they came, I was calling my property manager and what do I do? How do I turn this off? And he's like, you gotta call them directly, man. I called my real estate agent. And he's like, you gotta call the property manager. And then I called the property manager. They came out, actually, they arrived at the same time as the fire department. And so it was just a mess. But at the time, all the people that came out, like everybody, I thought I was by myself at home, but because there were like no cars in the parking lot, but a bunch of people came out from my apartment complex, and I could see them. Like, oh wow, finally get to meet your neighbors, because in Japan people don't talk to each other that are next to each other. And so everybody's outside. What's going on? I'm like, guys, I'm so sorry. I thought it was our apartment complex. I pressed the button. They're like, yeah, it's not fine. All right, it's fine. But I felt so bad because it was so disturbing. The sound was so disturbing. And yeah, and so I ended up like I was like, all right, guys, because I finally got to meet all my neighbors. I was like, all right, after everything finishes, I'm gonna go get you guys some gifts just as an apology thing. You don't got to do all that, but I'm like, no, I have to do that. This is after years of living in Japan. Apologies with gifts, and so right. Go down to my local department store, basically a mall in Japan. Bought a few like little snack gifts that are wrapped, and they got different assortments, different. It was actually foreign snacks, which a lot of Japanese people like. And yeah, I just got them. Went to each store, and it was pretty expensive, but I felt bad, and so I was like, hey, that's want to get you a little thing, and I got to talk to them and meet each neighbor after, but I felt so bad because it wasn't like woo. It was because it's supposed to be jarring, right? And it was so close because these walls are not that thick, and so that was a good story. That was a good experience that made for a good story, I think. But a bad experience that made for a good story. Thank you. Anyway, let's get back to writing. Cheers to pulling fire alarms because you think you're going to turn it off. All right, mic is on. Let's see if I got my thing here. All right, that works. And still looks like we're live here. I want to make sure YouTube is going. All right, it is going. All right, we go back into the cave. This is the session we're going after. Number 2 today, but 5 if you counted from yesterday. Alrighty then. This angle's good, you can see. Alright. Got my second music album loaded. And we're in. All right, all right. Second session done. Let me pause this because I got a copyright strike on my last live session for YouTube because the music I was listening to played through the webcam and there was some copyrighted material on there. So this time it shouldn't be playing through the YouTubes. But the band I'm listening to, well, first, this session is now done. That is another 25 minutes. We've been going for about an hour now. And I'm taking another 5-minute break. But, yeah, wow. I'm telling you, this deep work stuff is true. Just like lock down for 30 minutes to do whatever. You get in the zone. And it feels so good. It feels so good. So, refresh this, make sure it's still going. And yeah, it is. Very nice, very nice. So yeah, thank you guys for whoever's watching. I appreciate you. And I can tell you a real quick story. Oh yeah, I want to make sure I pour my tea before, right? Real quick. I got my handy dandy, whatever you call this, kettle. Yeah, so the music that I'm listening to while I'm writing, it is a Japanese band that is called Corrupted. It is a sludge rock band called Corrupted. You can find them on YouTube. They're not that popular, so maybe difficult to find them on Spotify. I'm not sure, but YouTube, Corrupted. The first song you can listen to is Japan Will Kick Your Ass. I'm listening to specific albums from them, but I really like their work because that's the one requirement I have for music or any type of art. It has to be able to transport you to another world. That's what I'm trying to do with Yokai Shadows, which is a fantasy romance based in Japan. It has all the likes of yokai. Yokai just like this guy. Oh, sorry. Yokai just like this guy. Yokai just like that. That is with Hasami Porcelain. I did a little, I commissioned a Japanese American artist to do some watercolor for me to showcase some of the art that I offer along with the yokai. Anyway, Corrupted is a very heavy feeling metal band, but it's sludge rock, so they're screaming, but the strumming is very slow. The drums are heavy, bass is like sludge, so it feels like you're like trying to move through this huge swamp. And it's just, speaking of swamps, they get stuck in a swamp in Yokai Shadows because the main antagonist is the Kappa, which is a river demon, right? Rivers, of course, but you gotta move them to something a little bit more dangerous. And to me, that is a swamp. So anyway, Kappa takes them to her swamp and can't tell you the rest. You gotta get the book, BrandonShin.net, if you want to know what happens next. We got 30 seconds before this, what do you call it? This break is over. And I'm gonna double check. Everything's good here. Last session coming up. Instagram should be good. Instagram should be good. It does say 75 minutes in. I think it might end at 90, so we'll see. I'm not sure. And that was my clock just going over, so. Oh, yeah, it's playing now. All right, I'm gonna pour some tea again from Shimane Prefecture. Why do I have this? I don't live in Shimane Prefecture. I actually got it from tea farmers that I interviewed on one of my NHK World episodes. It was an episode about wagashi or Japanese sweets, and also the tea that is typically paired with these Japanese sweets. Thank you for joining, Sharia. All right. For the people again that are just watching or the replay, real quick summary. I'm here doing writing. I'm here writing. I'm here writing for the sequel to my book, Yokai Shadows. New type of segment that I'm trying with the Brandon Chin Show, which is a podcast. I did about 300 episodes. And I started it when I first moved to Itoshima. So if you want to go back and see, it was like a daily journal. If you want to see my life as I settled into Itoshima, you can see the progress by listening to the episodes. Kind of random episodes, but all about Japan and the books and art that I offer from Japan through brandichin.net. All right, here we go. Jumping into the last session for today. Again, thank you guys for joining. I'm going to turn on the last part of this Corrupted album, which is super weird. They have a lot of Spanish words or German words for their albums. Probably that's where a lot of their audience is from, because they're popular overseas. And we jump back in without any delay. Jumping back in without any delay. Make sure this light is on. Oh, it can get super powerful. All right. See you guys on the other side. See you guys in the other world. All right. Where is it? So the clock timer went over a little bit. But we finished the last session. I looked over here because I was like, oh shit, is Instagram gonna shut off on me again? But we finished the last session, and damn, it feels good. Damn, it feels good. First, I'm gonna make sure that I actually count all of the words that I wrote for this session, and let's make sure that I got everything in there. Yeah, I got a lot done. Thanks to you guys for watching, because that type of pressure lets me knock the words out. Okay, let's see how many. Another 2,300 words. This time it's 2,352. Woo! Man, I feel good about that. 2,352. Yesterday was also about 2,300 words. Hour and a half. I think that's a very healthy writing pace. So, again, thank you guys for joining. If you want to read the first book in this series, I'm currently writing the sequel, Yokai Shadows. Go to brandonshin.net. And if you want this Bees and Pottery cup that I'm drinking out of, brandonshin.net. I thank you guys for joining. See you on the next episode. And if you have any comments, suggestions, advice for the next live show, feel free to send me an email and drop a comment on this. I appreciate whoever's watching this or the replay. Thank you guys for your attention. I'm gonna go eat some breakfast. First meal of the day. I like to keep it clear. So see you guys next